What's up, guys? Specstar here today with my second battle of the TTM Summer Showdown tournament. And I'm going up here against Nathan after what was an unfortunate start to this little run for me, losing on a high jump kick miss. But I'm looking to rebound strong here against Nathan, and he has got himself a team standing in our way consisting of Hippowdon, Zera Aura, Klefki, Hydreigon, Slowking, and Mega Diancie. And let me just switch over to my team, which is here. And the right angle, there we go. I've got a HP invested, Adamant, Mega Medicham. The reason I put nothing into speed is because speed only really helped me outpace Hydreigon. And I took a hit from that anyway. If it wasn't Scarfed, I forced him out anyway, so I didn't think I really needed that. It was better for me to just put the investment in a bulk. I got dual priority again, which I just love on this Pokemon. I jump kick and Thunder Punch, which helps me deal with Slowking primarily. Next up, I've got a Tapu Koko here, which is Farium Z. I've got just enough speed on here. What was it for? Base 110s? No, I got, he had something with 357 speed that I was creeping and don't remember now. Superior. Yeah, Superior. And I've got Volt Switch, Z Dazzling Gleam, which just hits a few different things. Hippowdon was a big one, Superior. Grass Knot also is to hit Hippowdon, and Roost just kind of a filler move. I didn't really need anything else there. And it can give some durability to this Pokemon for later. And next up, I've got a Skarmory, specially defensive to help me deal with the Mega Diancie. Ironhead for that same reason. Toxic just to cover anything that Ironhead's doing nothing to. And then Roost and Defog, pretty self-explanatory. Next up, I've got an Assault Vest Crocodile, which just kind of helps me take hits from a few things. Also helps me come in on Gleams from Klefki. Earthquake, Knockoff, Pursuit. Superpower, the moves on that. Pursuit could potentially help me with Slowking. Superpower lets me hit Hydreigon. Earthquake, stuff like Klefki, just my best move to hit his team pretty much. Next up, I got a pretty interesting Slowking set here, actually. Toxic, Recycle, Rest, and Ice Beam. And the reason I am Recycle Chesto Resto is because this lets me come in on his Slowking. I can throw off a Toxic on him, and if he tries to throw off a Toxic on me, I can very easily get rid of it. Recycle just keeps this thing recovering up, of course. Ice Beam to hit things like Hydreigon and Superior, which may want to come in on this Pokemon. And lastly here, I have a Amoonguss, which is leftovers. I totally meant to put Black Sludge on this thing, but I guess I played with leftovers. That's my bad. I've got Stun Spore, Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Stomping Tantrum. Tantrum just hits things like Klefki. The dual stab just hit most of his team, and Sunspore kind of deals with a lot of what might want to come in on this Pokemon. So, back to the battle here. Let me switch my angle. There we go. Here, I decided I just wanted to lead off with Medicham because there wasn't really too much that made that a bad lead. I guess Slowking would have made me want to switch out and not have this lead, but not too much else, really. I'm pretty much fine with anything else. So I will just lead off with my Medicham here, and I'm just going to go for a Fake Out right off the bat, get some chip, try to put it for sure in range of high jump kick. I'll do that. I'm gonna see here that he's got a Sticky Barb, which tells me a few things actually. One, I don't particularly have to worry about Protect, because it'd be really weird if he had Protect on there. Two, he may still have Thunder Wave, but it would be pretty hard to slot that in there because he's gonna want to have Spikes for sure. He's gonna want to have Switcheroo, of course, and then probably at least one attacking move. So he may not have the move freedom to put Thunder Wave on this thing, which makes me comfortable just to go for high jump kick here. I lost last game on a high jump kick miss, so I don't think I'm going to particularly miss one again in this battle. Except I do, right off the bat. I have clicked high jump kick with this Pokemon twice, and I have missed twice. Down goes Medicham, which would have definitely taken out that Klefki there. So here I bring in my Crocodile, and he's going to try to switcheroo me, but Prankster does not work on dark types. I'm going to Earthquake the thing and take it down. At least I get the Klefki down. But I've lost my Medicham. He brings out Hippowdon. I'm going to go into my Skarmory. He's going to get up rocks. I'm just going to... I believe I just went for a Defog right off the bat here. And he's actually going to show Yawn, which is pretty annoying for me to deal with, actually. Really interesting bring against an electric terrain team, but it works for him here, so kudos to him. He gets up rocks back again as I go into Amoonguss. I'm just going to go for a Giga Drain. He's going to Yawn again, and I believe I just went back into Skarmory here. As the turn takes a little bit. And I did go into Skarmory here, right. He's going to go into Hydreigon. I'm just going to roost off to see what he is, because I take almost any hit it would throw off with my special defense investment. And of course he's going to flinch me here. I'm going to try and roost up again. Hopefully I can. And I am able to roost up this time. I didn't want to keep playing around with those chances, so here I'm actually going to switch out into my Crocodile. I think there's a really good possibility this thing's Scarf, but instead it actually shows the substitute. And that's a little bit annoying for me to deal with. I'm going to go for Superpower, just break that thing's sub, which was the move that ensured I could do it. And I believe here I'm just going to go for another Superpower. Did I, or did I go Coco? I went Coco here, and I thought he would roost up. That was my thought process. Instead, he decides to substitute. I'm not sure if I necessarily agree with that, but it worked out for him, because he does get to throw off the Toxic on Coco. And here I am just going to throw off a Dazzling Gleam, I believe. Or no, I went for my Fairyum Z here, not even remembering the battle right. I went for my Fairyum Z here because it would have hit Hippowdon for a knockout blow, or it could have done a ton of damage to Zeraora regardless of its set. My thought process there. Now he's going to bring out Zeraora, and I'm going to go into my Amoonguss, which is a fairly decent answer to it. He's going to bulk up here, and actually he is about to show off the Firium Z, which is a big threat here. I didn't have too much to switch in on that. So here I'm going to have to go Crocodile. Him showing bulk up and Fire Punch makes me think he has a good chance of not having close combat on this thing. Plus it drops his attack anyway. He's going to go into Slowking as I Earthquake. So he appears to not have the close combat, which incentivizes me to preserve this Crocodile. I'm going to go into my Skarmory since I'm specially defensive. He's going to bring Zeraora back in, so good on him there. I'm going to actually stay in thinking that he may want to either go for a bulk up or just go for a move predicting Crook to come in, and I tried to throw off a Toxic unsuccessfully. I'm in the back here because of that first turn with Medicham, and I have to make some plays to try to get back into it after that. He's going to bring in his Slowking. I still have to preserve that Crocodile, so I'm going to go into my Slowking to take on his. He'll throw off his Shadow Ball. I should be able to wall this thing, but I get a special defense drop, so I just have to rest up here. Unfortunate. And I'm going to try and throw off a Toxic here. He's going to Shadow Ball me again, which is now doing way too much. I'll get the Toxic off here, and I'm just going to have to try and stall him out with Rest, but after the drop, not so possible.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
He's just going to continue. Actually, he goes for Scald here instead of continuing to throw off Shadow Balls. Presumably predicting Crocodile would be my thought process, but I had to keep Crocodile healthy and out of range of Fire Punch. I'm gonna get my full night's sleep here, 2 turns, and he's gonna be able to finish me off with the Shadow Ball. And Slowking's gonna go down there, so here I have to bring in my Coco because I need to keep Crocodile healthy. I'm gonna go here for Gleam, I believe, predicting potentially Zero Aura to want to come in. Instead he goes Diancie, and I'm gonna Volt Switch here, I believe, as he goes out into High Dragon. Yeah, I will. And now I'm gonna bring in my Crocodile. And I've got to click Superpower on this thing, or actually did I switch back into Coco? I think I may have switched back into Coco here to... No, I went right for Superpower. I do not remember this game at all. I am sorry about that. I just have to watch the turn before I talk about it, or else I'll keep showing off my lack of memory. He's gonna Mega Evolve with Diancie. I can't save this thing at this point. I just have to go let it down and then try to preserve differential with Coco. And here I'm going to go ahead and click Volt Switch. I'll take out the Diancie, and then he's going to be able to take this out with his Zero Aura. So unfortunately we're going to lose this battle again, and it's going to be 2 battles in a row lost to missing our first and only high jump kick. But, I mean, that's Pokemon. Definitely no ill will towards my opponent. It's out of his hands. He can't control that. GG to him. He had some interesting creative parts of his build with the High Dragon and the Hippo and things like that. So kudos to him for that. And I guess my chances here, I still do have a chance. I need the first guy or this guy to go 3-0, and then I need to have my other opponents also finish 1 and 2, and me to beat my last opponent. So I still do have a chance, but based on the way this has gone, I'm probably just gonna miss another high jump kick. That's my prediction. But I guess that's what happens when you have to rely on it instead of Drain Punch, and you're playing a game of Pokemon, so what are you going to do about it? That's going to be it for this video, though. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this battle more than I did. Have yourselves a good night.